Good evening, 47. Your destination is the Paris Fashion Show by Sanguine, one of Europe's leading couture brands. Your targets are Sanguine owner Viktor Novikov, a former oligarch turned fashion mogul, and his partner Dalia Margolis, a retired supermodel, an iconic power couple on the global fashion scene, and two of the most dangerous people in the world. Novikov and Margolis are in fact the ringleaders of Iago, an enigmatic spy ring that deals in the global elite's most valuable secrets. Unscrupulous and opportunistic, Iago has caused disastrous security leaks all over the globe. When Crimean separatists caused a deadly meltdown at the Odessa nuclear power plant, Iago gave them access to the plant's security network. And when the Delgado drug cartel shot down the plane of President Hernandez and his family, Iago provided the classified flight plans. Now Novikov and Margolis have obtained a knock list of British undercover agents, which they plan to sell at a secret Iago auction during the Sanguine show. So our client, MI6, need us to stop the ringleaders before the knock list ends up in the wrong hands. The Sanguine show will be swarming with security, and Viktor Novikov will be the focus of everyone's attention. But despite his posturing, he is merely the money man. The real target is Dalia Margolis. Beautiful and brilliant, she is a master manipulator and the true brains behind Iago. Two targets, a highly public event. At first glance, an impossible task. Then again, I do know how you love a challenge. I will leave you to prepare. Good morning, 47. Your destination is the coastal town of Sapienza, also known as the Jewel of the Amalfi Coast. Your target is a former client of ours, Silvio Caruso, a brilliant but troubled bioengineer employed by the Ether Biotech Corporation. Renowned for his early stem cell research, Caruso is now reportedly working on a far more disturbing project, a DNA-specific virus able to infect anyone, anywhere in the world. Imagine a bullet, fired in any direction, passing through countless bodies without inflicting harm, invisible and undetectable until it strikes its target. A world of armchair assassins killing with impunity. This is what awaits us, unless Caruso is stopped. Our client, one of Ether's major private stockholders, wants the project cancelled on ethical grounds, but without destroying the company in the process. She has asked us to eliminate Silvio Caruso and destroy the yet unfinished virus prototype. You will also need to deal with Caruso's lab head, Francesca DeSantis, a high-level Ether employee and cutthroat corporate climber who holds intimate knowledge of Caruso's research and could potentially carry on in his place. This is no ordinary contract, 47. Caruso's virus is a serious threat to our craft and trade, not to mention our core ideals. So failure is not an option. I'll leave you to prepare. Good afternoon, 47. Your destination is Marrakech, Morocco, where civil riots are looming. Your targets are private banker Klaus Strandberg and Army General Reza Zaidan, two of the conspirators in a sinister plot to overthrow Morocco's fragile government. Strandberg, a former bank CEO who stole billions of dollars worth of savings from the Moroccan people, was facing trial for investment fraud. But early this morning, a band of heavily armed mercenaries freed Strandberg from his prison transport, resulting in the death of several police officers. Strandberg now takes refuge at his native Swedish consulate, in front of which crowds of angry protesters have gathered, demanding his handover to Moroccan authorities. We believe General Zaidan orchestrated Strandberg's escape to infuriate the public and spark nationwide riots, allowing Zaidan to impose martial law. Operating out of a field HQ at a nearby abandoned school, he will no doubt use the riots to depict the Rabat government as weak and inept, and persuade the general staff to support a fully fledged military coup in the name of national security. Our client, building contractor Hamilton Lowe, who stands to lose a fortune in government contracts, has hired us to prevent the coup d'etat. To do so, you need to paralyze Zidane rebel forces and prevent the riots from escalating further, hence the double contract. This is quite the political powder keg, 47, so be careful. The fate of a nation is at stake. I will leave you to prepare. Good morning, 47. Your destination is the Himapan Luxury Hotel Resort on the Chao Phraya River, just outside Bangkok. Your main target is Jordan Cross, the lead singer of The Class, a renowned indie rock outfit recording their highly anticipated sophomore album. But this millennial poster boy harbors a dark secret. 1 year ago, promising young actress Hannah Highmore fell to her death from Cross's penthouse loft in Dumbo, New York. According to the police, Miss Highmore's death was a tragic accident, but her parents remain unconvinced. They firmly believe that Cross murdered Hannah and only escaped justice due to the power and influence of his father, billionaire media mogul Thomas Cross. A secondary target, Ken Morgan, corporate fixer and attorney to the Cross family, is also staying at the hotel. Cunning and unscrupulous, Morgan was a key agent in the cover-up of Hannah Highmore's murder and Jordan Cross's subsequent acquittal. The Highmores understandably want retribution, and while the system may be powerless, ICA is anything but. I will leave you to prepare. Good morning, 47. We have a lead on the shadow client. ICA White Hats have traced the anonymous data received by our clients to one Olivia Hall, brilliant young hacktivist and suspect in a dozen cases of cyber vandalism. Using onion routing with state-of-the-art encryption, Hall went to a lot of trouble to stay untraceable. She is good, but we are better. Her digital trail has led us to a remote farm in Colorado, where satellite footage has revealed what appears to be the training camp for a private militia, led by an already registered target, Sean Rose, Australian environmental terrorist and explosives expert wanted for a series of public bombings. Rose was spotted near the scene of Thomas Cross's kidnapping, which makes him our prime suspect for the shadow client. Spurred by Eric Soders, the ICA Board of Directors has asked us to infiltrate the farm and eliminate Sean Rose, along with 3 other prominent militia members. Ezra Berg, retired Mossad interrogator, Penelope Graves, former Interpol anti-terror analyst, and finally Maya Parvati, former assassin and gunrunner for the Tamil Tigers. I'll be honest with you, 47. I consider Eric Soda's reasoning hasty and ill-advised. Now, we cannot go against the wishes of the board, but we can conduct our own investigation. Whether a direct threat to the ICA or not, we need to know the shadow client's true agenda. I will leave you to prepare. Good morning, 47. The board has sanctioned Eric Soda's for termination. After Colorado, we did some digging into Soda's private affairs and discovered that he has been fast-tracked for critical heart surgery at the hyper-exclusive Gama Private Hospital in Hokkaido, Japan. Such a display of power has Providence written all over it. Sodas, who suffers from a rare condition known as situs inversus, where his internal organs are reversed, desperately needs a right-sided heart transplant and has clearly betrayed the ICA to get it. He was admitted last night and is currently being prepped for a 3-day surgery. We have booked you into Gama under the usual guise of Tobias Reaper, corporate shark, here for a standard medical checkup. As such, you will need to play it by ear and procure whatever tools you need to complete the mission. You also need to eliminate Yuki Yamazaki, a Tokyo lawyer who works for Providence. Sodas has already given Yamazaki access to our client records and has agreed to provide a full list of active ICA operatives post-operation. This transaction cannot be allowed to happen. Sodas must pay for his treachery, and his insidious employers must be taught a lesson. ICA's sovereignty is at stake. Powerful as Providence may be, we need to draw a line in the sand. I will leave you to prepare. Good morning, 47. Your destination is the Italian coastal town of Sapienza, where our client, L'Avventura Pictures, is shooting a superhero epic based on the cult graphic novel The Icon. Your target is Dino Bosco, the film's director and leading man. A washed-up character actor, Bosco sees The Icon as his big comeback. Unfortunately, his rampant perfectionism and complete disregard for the budget has left L'Avventura on the verge of bankruptcy. Still, he doggedly refuses to wrap the production. L'Avventura cannot fire Bosco without violating their contract. That is why they have asked us to retire him before the whole studio goes belly up. I will leave you to prepare. Good evening, 47. Your destination is Sapienza, Italy. Your target is Marco Abbiati, a wealthy businessman returning to his hometown to run for mayor. A snake-tongued, right-wing populist with mafia ties and money to burn, Abbiati is already comfortably ahead in the polls. However, beneath his silk suits, Abbiati is a callous thug, and organized crime is certain to follow in his wake. Our client, the renowned bioengineer Silvio Caruso, sees Abbiati as a threat, not just to his ancestral town, but the entire country, and he has asked us to dispose of this would-be patrician. I will leave you to prepare. Good afternoon, 47. Your destination is Marrakech, Morocco. Your targets, Kong Tuao Quang, head of a Chinese construction conglomerate, and Mathieu Mendola, chief architect at Tuao Quang's biggest rival, Hamilton Lowe. Mendola plans to double-cross his employer and leak non-disclosable company documents to Tuao Quang, including the confidential offer for a multi-billion-dollar real estate project. In response, Hamilton Lowe has requested that we eliminate both men and send their competition a clear message. Kong has rented a rooftop patio for the meeting, but the location is as of yet unclear. So track them and eliminate them, and reclaim the documents. Good luck, 47. Welcome to Austria, Agent 47. Your targets are Dorian Lang, Guillaume Maison, and Doris Lee, 3 remaining members of the international gang of thieves known as the Yardbirds. The Yardbirds were famous for the daring heists, in particular, one that took place against Shamal Casino in Las Vegas. However, the money proved to be the property of organized criminals who in turn launched a campaign of violence and retaliation in an effort to identify the thieves and find the money. Feeling the earth burn beneath them, the Yardbirds entered into a secret agreement. The treasure would remain hidden, and once the dust settled, the last remaining member was to inherit everything. The group retired, and all members vanished from sight until Calvin Ritter, the Sparrow, was found dead on his yacht. But the remaining members remained elusive. The group never gathers in one place, but today is a special occasion. The wedding of Elizabeth Lang is taking place at the palatial home of Guillaume Maison with Doris Lee as a special guest. Our client is Alexander Kovac, the founder of the Yardbirds. He has stipulated that all 3 targets and their bodyguards must be eliminated at this event. Should any of the Yardbirds escape, the contract is invalidated. Looks like Kovac is making his final bid for the lost millions. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Sergei Larin. He is an accomplished art forger and has been copying and selling the museum's crown jewels for years. Both museum and artwork are owned by his wife, Simone Larin, and have been in her family for generations. While his wife is in New York with an excellent alibi, you have a window of opportunity to eliminate the target. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Congressman Anthony L. Trout, a veteran of the invasion of Grenada in 1983. Reports linking him to a number of friendly fire accidents were suppressed after the conflict,
and never became public record. He is staying with Silvio Caruso in Sapienza as part of a meet and greet with European moneymen and power brokers ahead of a possible presidential bid in 2024. Expect additional security and at least one personal assistant to be close to the target at all times. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your target is Father Adalrico Candelaria, a Catholic cardinal considered by Vatican insiders as a strong contender to be the next pope. However, ICA files indicate there is a series of links between the target and the Pinochet regime in Chile in the 70s and 80s. The target is currently on tour of Europe with a stopover at the church in Sapienza, where his itinerary states he will spend some time in prayer. He will be extremely well protected at all times by multiple layers of high alert security. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck.
Good afternoon, 47. Your target is multi-platinum media sensation Jonathan Smythe. He is the subject of an international manhunt following his involvement in a multiple homicide 3 years ago. He fled prosecution but continues to release records and maintains an extensive financial empire that has only been bolstered by the controversy. We have learned that he will be hosting a private party somewhere in the palace grounds. This is the first opportunity to engage in over 3 years, so we must act immediately. Locating this party and bypassing security to reach the target will be your primary challenge. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Vito Duric, arms dealer and sanctions buster. Although the subject of a global manhunt, the target has successfully evaded capture and prosecution for more than a decade. Tired of waiting for the slow wheels of international justice, the client has turned to the ICA. Intelligence places the target inside the Swedish Consulate, most likely involved in the operation to extract Strandberg. The situation is fluid, but this is our best opportunity to eliminate him before he vanishes again. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Dylan Narvaez, currently in Sapienza with his identical twin brother, Gonzalez. The Narvaez brothers are tobacco billionaires operating in mainland China. Note that Gonzalez is not to be harmed, and the contract will be cancelled if he is injured in any manner. As they are identical twins, you will have to choose your target with supreme care. We have learned that the target has recently purchased a one-of-a-kind platinum mango wristwatch, so if you can get close enough, this will help you to identify him. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Hollywood legend and infamous loose cannon Gary Busey, codename The Wild Card. He is in Sapienza to film an advertisement, but is now refusing to participate. The following audio was captured as he fled the set.
You'll never find me! I have the power of invisibility!
This fiasco has cost the client millions, and they've decided to terminate their relationship with the target permanently. Complicating matters is the presence of an angry co-star, Gary Cole. However, he may lead you straight to your target. This is an odd one, but nothing you've not handled before. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Howard Moxon, an international antiquities trader who specializes in selling priceless art to finance terrorist organizations. He is currently involved in the sale of the ivory white, a filigree egg looted during the Second World War. The client has requested that you both eliminate the target and locate and retrieve the original ivory white. This priceless artifact is most likely in one of the museum's safes. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47.
Your target is a black hat hacker who goes by the handle Protagonist. He is currently in Paris with his longtime partner known as Whitecap. The two have been contracted by Dalia Margolis to execute a high-profile hack tonight. No current pictures of the target exist, but he makes use of the hacker alias Protagonist, and he often references a particular brand of cheap fruit jam available in Alabama. You will have to use this information to identify him. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your target is Nila Torvik, brilliant pharmaceutical scientist and CEO of Torvik Research. Her company is a major provider of low-cost generic drugs to the developing world. However, this philanthropic project is cover for large-scale human tests in the Third World. She will be attending the Iago auction in Paris as a personally invited guest of Dalia Margolis. It is possible that she has been warned of a potential assassination attempt, so you should expect her to be highly suspicious. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Brendan Connor, an IT billionaire who built his fortune on darknet identity theft. Despite remaining invisible for most of his career, Connor recently got lazy at covering his tracks in the run-up to a major operation in mainland China. Our client wants him gone to prevent this operation from taking place. Connor will be attending the Iago auction and has hired an escort to join him at the ground floor cocktail reception. Assume the target will be mobile, so locate him and improvise. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Xander Haverfok, attaché at the Swedish Consulate in Marrakech. We are expecting him to meet a courier in the city to facilitate the transport of a consignment of diamonds on behalf of Klaus Hugo Strandberg. You must both retrieve the package and eliminate the target. We have been unable to obtain any information on where this package is located, so you will need to shadow either the target or the courier to discover its location. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your targets are Richard Akwensi, former Central African dictator, and his gold digger wife, Inez. Following a brokered departure from power, the targets have lived off the money they looted during their reign. The ICA has learned that the two will be at the Himapan Hotel in Bangkok at a clandestine meeting with a representative of French intelligence. The targets have been avoiding media attention in recent months and will likely not arrive at the hotel via the river. He takes no risks with his personal safety, so expect his security team to cover all possible approaches. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Gabriel Santos, a celebrity super chef and an example of the immunity granted by wealth and public life. He has evaded any consequences to his career following a stream of assaults on assistants, producers, and staff. The target will be in Paris providing luxury catering for Viktor Novikov and Dalia Margolis and will have an entourage of social media producers and assistants around him at all times. The client, a former investor in Santos's production company, specifically requests that the target be eliminated tonight. So, our operational window is slim. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Etta Davis, also known as the Angel of Death. The target is a retired nurse, believed to have killed dozens of patients in retirement homes and hospitals across Great Britain. Her preferred technique is poison, though in later years she's begun to prefer blunt weapons and violent accidents such as falls. Ongoing intercepts have tracked her to Marrakech. This matches profile predictions that she's expanding her hunting grounds now that the net is tightening at home. While the target may look like a harmless old lady, it is certain that she will kill again repeatedly, given the opportunity. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Richard J. McGee, a self-help guru infamous for abandoning his protégés as soon as their money runs out. His current mark is Keith Keeble, and the young man's trust fund. His family have turned to the ICA for help in rescuing their son and their money from the guru's clutches. The family lawyer, Catherine Feller, has arranged a meeting with the target in Sapienza, Italy, ostensibly to discuss extending his access to the trust fund, and in so doing has provided us with a window to engage. Note that the contract stipulates that neither the son nor the lawyer, Catherine Feller, may be harmed. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your target is Wen Tsai, the highly influential Southeast Asian food critic. He is notorious for his sadistic attention to detail and relentless criticism of the smallest errors. The client is the partner of a Singaporean chef driven to suicide by the target's cruel response to a bottle of over-chilled ice water. We have learned that the target will be at the Himapan Hotel in Bangkok, where he plans to review that hotel's award-winning cuisine. Complicating matters, the target has recently retained a private security team in response to his increasing notoriety. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Richard M. Foreman, a skilled infiltrator believed to be working with the militia on an unknown operation on U.S. soil. The target is a highly skilled actor, and our files link him with a successful impersonation of billionaire Charles Vanderblatt, where he siphoned hundreds of millions out of the Vanderblatt accounts over the course of 3 weeks. The contract has 2 objectives: identifying and eliminating the target in an apparently accidental death such as a fall or drowning. Secondly, uncover files or data about the operation being planned. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Walter Williams, an up-and-coming fashion model with a history of blackmail. He is currently in Paris, participating in the Sanguine fashion show. The target is carrying a memory stick containing information he used to blackmail a former lover. The client asks that you locate and retrieve this memory stick. As a model, the target will be on the catwalk, but he will almost certainly also spend some time amongst the event's guests. This year's Sanguine collection features heavy facial makeup, so mark your target carefully. The clock is ticking. Good luck, 47. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Adize Ojiofor, also known under her war name of Na Obara. She operates groups of militants and bandits across West Africa and controls a sizable chunk of the rare earth trade out of that region. Now, she has turned her attention to securing her legacy through an alliance with West African strongman Richard Akwensi. She is currently staying at the Himapan Hotel with her son, where she has taken over an entire floor. The client requests that you retrieve maps and files detailing the target's network in West Africa. You will need to locate these on the ground. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your targets are Dr. Pavel Friedel and Dr. Akane Akanawa, brilliant and unethical transplant surgeons. Both were involved in performing an operation on a billionaire's son. However, the organ had been sourced illicitly in Central Africa, and the patient died of hemorrhagic fever shortly after. We have located the targets at Gamma in Hokkaido, where they are key members of staff and will enjoy a great deal of freedom of movement and protection within the facility itself. The client offers a substantial bonus if the targets are eliminated in a manner appropriate to the death of their patient. As you know, the Gamma facility has worked with infectious diseases, so you should be able to find something useful on site. And I know you appreciate poetic justice. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good morning, 47. Your target is Pertti Janefeld, bookkeeper to the global underworld and considered to be a criminal myth by law enforcement agencies the world over. In truth, the target has led an unassuming yet comfortable life, managing the finances of kleptocracies, terrorists, and tyrants for decades. The client, Loxley, has assembled information on the target's movements and conclusively linked him to the shadow client's operations in Colorado. This makes his elimination a priority. The client has also requested that you retrieve the target's ledger. Note that the target is extremely paranoid and will attempt to flee at the first sign of overt danger. Plan accordingly. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Kieran Hudson, a controversial tabloid journalist. The client is a former victim of the target's smear articles and wants the journalist eliminated in retaliation for a particularly destructive series of rumors. The ICA has discovered that the target is in Paris on the trail of fashion designer Sebastian Sato. He will most certainly attempt to get close to Sato, either to interview or take photographs of him. With the world's attention on the show and extensive security in place, it will not be easy to locate and eliminate the target. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is media personality Bartholomew Argus. The charismatic musician-turned-film star is at the epicenter of a drugs and weapons investigation in the UK and the subject of an Interpol arrest order. The target has gone underground, leaving his former business partner, an infamous London gangster, Tommy the Hammer Stokes, to take the blame. We have learned that the target is lying low in Sapienza as a guest of Dino Bosco, and this represents an ideal window of opportunity to engage. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good morning, 47. Your target is arrived at the Gamma facility in Hokkaido for facial reconstruction surgery. This gives us a window to engage, but the very nature of this surgery will make him difficult to identify. The clients are cooperating to gather information to identify the target, and I will relay this to you as I receive it. Be ready to improvise, however. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your target calls himself Mr. Giggles and operates an underground circus called the Soirée Horrible. Attractions include animal fights, deadly blood sports, and other choreographed violence. We are uncertain why he is in Marrakech, only that he is somewhere in the city center. You will need to locate him on the ground and engage at your discretion. He should be simple enough to spot at least. The client requires that in addition to eliminating the target, you also acquire his client list. Given the target's personality, he is unlikely to manage such matters himself, so you will need to discover its location on site. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your target is Craig Black, the highly successful author of the Cassandra Snow young adult novels. While the novels, spin-off TV series, and movie trilogies are reviled by reviewers, they have made the target enormously wealthy. The client is the ghostwriter of the original novels, who has been cheated out of fame and financial success by the target. She requests that you locate and retrieve the latest manuscript, in addition to eliminating the target, in order to prevent it being posthumously published. We have learned that the target will be reading sections of the latest manuscript in Sapienza tonight, which gives you a window to engage. The New England Wiccan novels are hugely successful, so the reading is invitation only and expected to be packed. There is no accounting for taste. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your targets are Orlando Caruso and his brother Renzo Caruso. The elder brothers of Silvio Caruso, they became the overseers for the notorious Delgado cartel following their departure from Italy. Marrakech is quiet, although there are underlying tensions and a higher than usual security presence at the evening markets. Specifically, ICA analysts have identified a representative of Crystal Dawn in the city. This is unlikely to be a coincidence, as that African extremist group is known for financing their operations through the drugs trade. The Delgado cartel is not believed to be active in Western Europe, so in addition to eliminating both targets, as per the contract, take this opportunity to discover the reason for Delgado's interest in Marrakech. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your target is Bradley Payne, a psychiatrist specializing in helping individuals to overcome their moral and ethical limitations, and thus preferred counselor to mercenaries and terrorists the world over. We have learned that he has been providing this service to Sean Rose's militia in Colorado, and that he is en route to that group's compound. While this is a highly dangerous environment in which to operate, it is, nevertheless, our best opportunity to engage. In addition to eliminating the target, the client asks that you also eliminate each patient he meets and counsels, so as to hamper the militia's overall effectiveness. The target will certainly have a busy schedule amongst militia members, but note that he is likely to know most or all of them by face. Plan accordingly. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Your targets are 4 members of a cult. Specifically, the leader Oybek Nabazov and 3 of his so-called cult brothers, Akram, Akmal, and Ansar. Alarmingly, the target appears to be a serial cult leader, connected to at least 7 atrocities over the past 30 years. All your targets are in Bangkok, where they are holding an art exhibition entitled Liberation, billed as an examination of life, death, and rebirth, as told through the lens of art, culture, and tragedy. The client indicates that this is likely to be cover for an imminent cult operation in Thailand, so you must engage and eliminate your targets as soon as possible. The exhibition is a darling of the global art scene, so expect a high level of collateral presence. We wouldn't want this to be easy, of course. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your target is Owen Cage, a bioterrorist planning to attack a major city. He intentionally infected himself with a deadly virus, but his plane was intercepted on the runway at Narita before he could put his plan into effect. We have learned that the target is currently in an isolation ward at the Gama facility in Hokkaido, under heavy sedation. The client recommends that you follow full bio-isolation protocols to avoid potential infection. To ensure a clean elimination, you must use a lethal injection on your target while inside the isolation ward. Furthermore, in order to prevent the Gama staff from recreating the virus, you must locate and retrieve all research that has been performed, in addition to eliminating your target. This is a complex one, admittedly, but I'm sure you're up to the task. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck. The agency has been contracted to eliminate 6 individuals guilty of committing brutal war crimes during the siege of Sarajevo. As private military contractors for the Cicada Corporation, they are linked with mass killings of civilians, particularly the massacres at Marrakech and the extended sniper campaign. The notorious Sarajevo Six have managed to avoid the International Criminal Tribunal since the mid-1990s. Our client would now like an alternative fate to catch up with them. Opportunities for elimination will appear over the coming year in multiple locations across the globe. Your first target is Scott Sarno, Director of European Operations for Cicada. Sarno is rarely without a full military backup, so his attendance at the Sanguine fashion show will provide multiple opportunities to eliminate the target in a lower than normal security setting. Our client will provide full intelligence on the first target, March 11th. The agency will notify you as soon as the exact location of the remaining targets is ascertained. These targets are lethal, observant, and highly trained, but nothing you can't handle. Good luck, 47. Welcome back, 47. I trust you found your time in Paris successful. The agency has located your second target in the Italian coastal town of Sapienza. We have learned that Gary Lunn, formerly known as the enforcer for the Sarajevo Six, is working at the Ether Corporation biolab, supervising high-level security. This is an exclusive holiday destination, 47, and the agency would discourage a public elimination. Although the target was no indication that he has learned of his colleague's death. Lun is likely to be found in the luxurious Villa Caruso or the Ether Biolab. You should expect access to these areas to be restricted and the laboratory security to be particularly heavy. I'll leave you to prepare. Good luck. I have the third Sarajevo Six profile online now. Your target is Walter Menard, presently located in the North African city of Marrakech. He's a veteran of the paramilitary Sigma unit, active during the Yugoslav War of the 90s. Interestingly, our research has uncovered a series of disappearances and massacres in the area where Sigma was operating. This may have some bearing on the contract, but we do not have full details at present. Your target has been tasked with handling the evacuation of rogue banker Klaus Hugo Strandberg. We believe Strandberg is currently attached as an advisor to General Zaidan in Marrakech. With protesters in the streets and the city on the brink of a military coup, you should have cover to operate relatively freely. I leave you to prepare. Good luck. Good afternoon, 47. Welcome to Bangkok. I have the fourth profile available now. Your target is John Stubbs, a retired mercenary and former member of Sigma. He is on holiday in Bangkok with his wife, but our background information indicates she is unaware of his past. The contract stipulates no actions with regard to her, so proceed at your discretion. This target is no longer active, having retired with a substantial fortune in offshore bank accounts. Our intelligence has been unable to turn up the source of this wealth, only that it is substantial enough to provide the target with a life of luxury. Hotel records indicate they will remain here for at least a week. One other VIP is in residence, so expect a heightened security presence. I'll leave you to prepare. Good afternoon, 47. I have the next profile available. Your target is Patrick Morgan, codenamed the Mercenary. He is a former member of the Cicada Deniable Operations Unit Sigma and is an expert in a wide range of combat techniques. His last known operation for Sigma was almost 12 months ago. ICA files indicate that the target met with international environmental terrorist Sean Rose in Luxembourg last winter. It is highly likely that he has been recruited by the militia. We have pinpointed a training facility used by the militia in Colorado, and intercepts make it very probable the target is located there. The camp is well sighted and defended, and your target is a lethal combatant who expects the worst following the mysterious deaths of 4 of his old unit. Take care, 47. I'll leave you to prepare. Good evening, 47. I have the final profile available now. Your target is Tahiji Koyama, codenamed the Controller. He is the final living member of the Sigma paramilitary, and with his elimination, a particularly nasty chapter of recent history will be brought to a close. Hospital records indicate the target suffers a rare genetic disease, but also that he has refused 2 full bone marrow donations on ethical grounds so far. Interesting. Clients at this particular hospital are not usually picky about where their life-extending therapy comes from. While I have confirmed that he has learned of the deaths of the other members of Sigma, he does not seem to have altered his security arrangements or movement patterns in any meaningful way. Regardless, the hospital is highly secure, and it will be difficult to move freely. So I'll leave you to prepare.
My old friend Loxley told me of the ICA and what you can do. The cost was irrelevant. I placed all 6 contracts, and I watched as you carried them out. Then I fell ill. I feared that I would die before my time. Thankfully, your reputation for timeliness is entirely deserved. As you are aware, the staff have my files in safekeeping. They will destroy them in the event of an emergency. But I am sure you will not be noticed after we are finished here. Arrangements have been made to publicize the files widely. The actions of Sigma and Cicada must be known. Thank you for allowing me to speak my piece, sir. Please complete the final contract now.
Good afternoon, 47. Your destination is the annual Global Innovation Motor Race in Miami, Florida. After analyzing the data from Reynard's computer, the case is clear. The Providence defectors are Robert and Sierra Knox, head of robotics developer Kronstadt Industries. A visionary inventor and technological innovator, Robert Knox has spearheaded Kronstadt Industries to the bleeding edge of technological development. His equally brilliant daughter, Sierra, is not only a financial wizard, but also a fiercely competitive race car driver, with a fiery temper to match. Kronstadt enjoys enormous popularity with global consumers. However, few are aware that the company is also one of the world's leading suppliers of next-gen military tech. Last year, despotic ruler Jin Po employed prototype Kronstadt drones against peaceful civilian protesters in the now infamous Tungan Valley incident. And although it has yet to be proven, there is little doubt that the Knoxes personally brokered the deal, making them complicit in a war crime. It is unclear why the Knoxes would betray their masters, but likely the fear of being next on the Shadow Clients hit list has pressured them to cut a deal with the enemy. Undoubtedly, with Kronstadt Industries on their side, the militia will increase their attacks tenfold, and so our contract obligates us to retire Robert and Sierra Knox and contain the damage they may inflict on Providence. I will leave you to prepare. Good morning, 47. Our Providence contact has shared the identity of the Shadow Client, a former mercenary and bodyguard by the name of Lucas Gray. His past is a black void, but our analysts are digging deep. Meanwhile, we've had a breakthrough of our own. Comparing the militia's attack patterns with global shipping and transportation routes, we've figured out how Mr. Gray and his paramilitaries move around the world undetected. They're using the distribution network of the Delgado cartel, Colombia's biggest drug manufacturer. Clearly, Gray must have struck a deal with the Delgados. Consequently, if we can cripple the cartel, we can severely limit the militia's strike range. But to do so, we need to slay a three-headed serpent. Sociopathic cartel head Rico Delgado and his 2 closest lieutenants, PR guru Andrea Martinez and savant chemist Jorge Franco. With equal parts guts and guile, Rico Delgado runs a thriving billion-dollar criminal empire. The word is, the brutal and volatile cartel head is hell-bent on becoming the #1 drug lord in the world. To achieve this, Martinez, a childhood friend of Delgado's, has been buttering up state leaders and decision-makers, paving the way for an expansion of the Delgado logistics network, while the brilliant but aloof and antisocial Franco has been hard at work developing a new type of super cocaine. So, 3 of Colombia's most infamous crime lords inhabiting a decidedly hostile environment. I will leave you to prepare. Good evening, 47. The militia has released a hostage tape, outing the existence of Providence to the world. This was a fatal mistake, and our analysts are tracing its origin as we speak. In the meantime, we have a lead on Lucas Gray's top lieutenant. Turns out the Delgado cartel's counterfeiting unit was creating fake IDs for the militia, and one operative in particular stands out, Wazir Kale, an infamous South China Sea pirate better known by his nom de guerre, the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom and his cutthroat band of outlaws were the scourge of the shipping industry in the post-recession years. But his reign of terror came to an end with the disastrous 2014 hijacking of the supertanker Francis King. Chinese elite forces stormed the ship, resulting in the deaths of a dozen sailors and most of the Maelstrom's crew. But Kale slipped away unseen. The Maelstrom's connection to Gray is unknown, but we believe it was he who carried out the audacious killing of a Providence CEO in Shanghai, along with 2 reactivated members of his old pirate gang, Vanya Shah, a shady figure in Mumbai's criminal underworld, and Dawood Rangan, the gang's old cashier turned dodgy movie producer. Shah, Rangan, and the Maelstrom form Lucas Gray's Eastern Cell. They are a crack strike team, and stopping them is our client's most pressing concern. Unfortunately, the elusive Maelstrom appears to have vanished into the seedy underbelly of Mumbai, the cradle of his criminal legend, and no one knows his whereabouts or what he currently looks like. So, a bandit queen, a showbiz charlatan, and one certifiable ghost. I shall leave you to prepare. Gentlemen, let's go over the plan. The first constant is none other than Janus, the legendary Cold War spy master. A KGB senior officer and head of the 6th Column Special Branch at Lubyanka, Janus is a certified genius and expert of counterintelligence. He retired from the KGB in 1988 when he fell out of favor with the Kremlin and defected to the US. Shortly after, the Soviet Union collapsed. Now, it is unclear when Janus stepped down as the constant, but since 2004, he has been a resident of a quiet community in suburban Vermont. Mr. Gray.
Right. So here's the catch. As an elite KGB agent, Janus was trained to withstand interrogation and torture. No amount of pressure will force him to disclose information he doesn't want to. Instead, we will need to search his home for clues. But if Providence learns of our presence, the game is up.
So we frame Janus, make Providence think he was the real shattered plant.
Correct. I will file a false ICA report, claiming to have traced a number of calls from Janus's house to the Institute in Romania. The case will seem clear. Mr. Gray was only a figurehead. Janus was pulling the strings all along. And by eliminating him, we will have neutralized the militia, once and for all.
However, for this subterfuge to work, you'll also need to deal with Janus's security detail. A Providence herald and former Secret Service agent by the name of Nolan Cassidy. Intel describes him as diligent and inquisitive, and we cannot risk that he contradicts our story to his employer.
Seems workable.
I certainly hope so. Everything depends on this next move, 47. You made this our fight. Now let's even the playing field. Attention, gentlemen. Our source on the island just made a critical discovery. The Constant has a poison chip embedded in his neck. A failsafe, in case he's compromised.
Damn it. We should have expected something like this. So, we subdue the Constant before he has time to react.
Not that simple. The device is remote-triggered, and during his stay on the island, 2 kill switches have been entrusted to twin sisters Zoe and Sophia Washington, 2 young, ambitious Providence operatives and newly appointed chairwomen of the Ark Society. Apparently, even the Constant is unaware of this arrangement.
Right, change of plans. We divide and conquer. 47 takes out the Washingtons, while I figure out a way to get the Constant off the island. It'll be tight, but once we're back at the ship, we should be able to surgically remove the chip before the partners have time to react. 47?
Tell me about the targets.
I know them from the archive. Zoe and Sophia's father is president of a powerful conservative think tank, one of Providence's prime assets. The apples don't fall far from the tree.
No saints either. According to ICA files, the twins are pampered socialites who get their kicks from treasure hunting. Commanding a band of trigger-happy mercenaries, Zoe and Sophia prowl the world in search for ancient relics. With little regard for local culture or even human life, they stop at nothing to claim their prize. Well, collateral damage they may be, but safe to say, they have it coming.
Three families. That's all it took. The Ingrams, the Carlyles, the Stuyvesants.
Tell us everything about them.
The ivory towers are about to fall.
And when we're done,
Let's cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, the partners are all that matter.
There's an issue.
Of course there is.
Olivia's tracked the names mentioned by the Constant, and they're dead ends.
how dead?
Obituaries for all three have appeared online. Accidental death, heart failure, lung cancer.
They're covering their tracks. Faster than I thought.
A contingency plan of sorts. The Constant wasn't aware of it.
Seems they didn't tell him everything after all.
Something this big will leave traces behind.
The Constant says to follow the money.
Milton Fitzpatrick. The investment bank. It's a key Providence asset.
Which you worked for.
The director of the New York branch is a Providence operative. It's our best bet as a way in.
I'll tell the pilot to turn the plane around.
Right, gentlemen. Here's what we've come up with. The partners are transitioning between identities. But everything is so recent, the Milton Fitzpatrick bank records will still be intact. We've confirmed that the partners have active accounts there. However, the bank's records are remotely updated on a frequent basis. We may only have hours before any leads that could get us the new identities of the partners are gone forever. The data we need can be obtained in two ways. The bank's data core can be accessed through the basement vault, but getting inside the vault could be challenging. Alternatively, Bank Director Athena Savalas, Head of Security Mateo Perez, and Head of Accounts Fabian Mann each carry a partial backup drive with the data. We'll need all three drives to get the full data. Now, we cannot risk the partners discovering the data breach. Eliminating the bank's director, Athena Savalas, would sever the last remaining Providence tie to the bank and keep our activities hidden.
Okay, one more time. We break into the vault, extract the hard drive rack, and eliminate the director on the way out.
We.
You. Good luck, 47.
So, this is paradise.
If you can afford.
Gentlemen, glad to hear you made it out of New York. Where are we?
Olivia decrypted the data 47 recovered from the bank. we isolated 3 transactions from Providence partner accounts, all made out to Haven, a small corporation operating out of the Maldives.
And what does Haven do?
To the public, they specialize in reputation management for the rich and famous. The real money, however, comes from the covert reconstruction of identities for wealthy criminals. They make people disappear.
The partners are using Haven to acquire new identities.
Yes. Olivia's been attempting to hack the Haven servers, but the owners of Haven are manually resetting the access keys every 10 hours. That, unfortunately, makes them targets.
Haven Island is a true tropical paradise. Owned by the company's founder, Tyson Williams, the island is used by Haven as a combined headquarters and client entertainment center. Current and potential clients are ferried to the island and treated to the very best the Maldives have to offer. Michelin star chefs, a full massage spa, private huts, exercise facilities, and all the comforts of a luxury island resort are made available to them. 47. We'll be sending you in as a potential new client. We've put together a convincing cover story. You're Mr. Reaper, a thief for hire looking to disappear for a while. Your mission on the island is simple. You need to eliminate the 3 owners of Haven. Tyson Williams, founder and rumored tyrannical CEO of Haven. Ludmila Vetrova, a former confidence artist hired by Williams to serve as a client recruiter and handler. And Stephen Bradley, technical wizard and the brains behind Haven's proprietary software platform.
With the owners gone, Olivia will be able to penetrate the Haven servers long enough for her to secure the new partner identities.
I've uploaded all the information we have on the island and the 3 targets. Best of luck, gentlemen.
I don't rely on luck.
Well, a little wouldn't hurt.
Good morning, 47. Your target is Ajit A.J. Krish. He's the current head of Atlantide, a company producing demineralized saltwater that promises a suspiciously long list of medical benefits. If the brand doesn't ring any bells, it's because Atlantide is only sold out of the homes of independent distributors. They pay Krish an initial signing fee, and in return are able to purchase Atlantide for a lower price, which they can then turn around and sell at a profit. That is, if they can sell it. But bottled water is not Krish's most profitable product. He is far more interested in getting people to buy into his turnkey business opportunity, and better still, convince their friends to do the same. He preys on the desperate. Whether they can afford it or not, Krish will tell them that future fortune is worth even the most painful investments. The target is currently in Miami, in the hopes of recruiting a celebrity driver to be the new face of Atlantide. Our clients would prefer he never recruit anyone again. Best of luck. Wait, 47. I've been examining Krish's phone records, and there are quite a few long calls here between him and someone named Voles. Ah, I see. It seems your last contract may not have been as settled as we thought. Evidently, Krish was the front man for Atlantide, and the one responsible for its predatory expansion practices. The man behind the product and the pitch, however, is Galen Voles. Voles stays out of the spotlight, but quietly pushes Atlantide's absurd medical claims on every front, from dry skin to pancreatic cancer. Apparently, Voles recently moved out to the suburbs To curb the harassment he's been receiving from disgruntled customers and former sales associates, he's also taking advantage of his anonymity to operate an exclusive private practice out of his home, despite having no medical background whatsoever. Perhaps it's time to make a house call, 47. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is notorious magician and hypnotist Basil Carnaby. In the 1960s, Carnaby attracted the rebellious youth of London's upper class to his side with his own brand of pseudo-mysticism. He would then hypnotize them and order them to rob their wealthy families on his behalf. He stole millions entirely by proxy. By the time the police finally caught on, Carnaby had absconded to Nepal with a group of spiritualist pilgrims and subsequently disappeared. However, one of his old victims recently recognized a well-aged Carnaby doing a mentalist act for the locals on the streets of Mumbai. Having obtained a life of comfortable obscurity, it seems he just can't keep his hands out of other people's pockets. Good luck, 47. Good morning, 47. Your target is Blair Reddington, controversial big game hunter and heir to one of the oldest and most influential families in the US. Reddington is the leader of an elitist group, the Lodge, which exclusively hunts endangered animals. The Lodge is known to resort to bribery and threats to protect its members from political scrutiny. One more thing. Our client informs us that the target always carries around a small black book, which contains names and details on Lodge members and government officials associated with them. Our client has unsuccessfully tried to put an end to the Lodge's blood sport for years. This book could be exactly what they need to achieve that goal. Retrieve the book and help put an end to their heinous actions. Time to make the hunter the hunted, 47. I'll leave you to prepare. Good afternoon, 47. Your target is notorious magician and hypnotist Basil Carnaby. In the 1960s, Carnaby attracted the rebellious youth of London's upper class to his side with his own brand of pseudo-mysticism. He would then hypnotize them and order them to rob their wealthy families on his behalf. He stole millions entirely by proxy. By the time the police finally caught on, Carnaby had absconded to Nepal with a group of spiritualist pilgrims and subsequently disappeared. However, one of his old victims recently recognized a well-aged Carnaby doing a mentalist act for the locals on the streets of Mumbai. He obtained a life of comfortable obscurity. It seems he just can't keep his hands out of other people's pockets. Good luck, 47. Good morning, 47. Your target is Ajit A.J. Krish. He's the current head of Atlantide, a company producing demineralized saltwater that promises a suspiciously long list of medical benefits. If the brand doesn't ring any bells, it's because Atlantide is only sold out of the homes of independent distributors. They pay Krish an initial signing fee, and in return are able to purchase Atlantide for a lower price, which they can then turn around and sell at a profit. That is, if they can sell it. But bottled water is not Krish's most profitable product. He is far more interested in getting people to buy into his turnkey business opportunity, and better still, convince their friends to do the same. He preys on the desperate. Whether they can afford it or not, Krish will tell them that future fortune is worth even the most painful investments. The target is currently in Miami, in the hopes of recruiting a celebrity driver to be the new face of Atlantide. Our clients would prefer he never recruit anyone again. Best of luck. former Kandanyang national poet, has been kidnapped from his suburban home. Ledong defected to the US during a meeting at the United Nations some years ago and has been living under witness protection ever since. Your targets are Jin Nu, Lom Kwai, and Ri Thak, 3 key members of Sun Po's military elite known as the Heavenly Guard. The 3 are in Singapore to secure Mr. and Mrs. Ledong, who've been smuggled from the US in a shipping container. The Ledongs are expected to be transported back to Kandanyang for a public execution to celebrate the birthday of the country's dictator, Sun Po. The targets are preparing to transfer Ledong and his wife to an awaiting cargo ship. The 3 are under orders not to allow Han Ledong to escape again, so keep this one quiet, 47. Should the alarm be raised, we expect 1 or more of the targets to try to eliminate the hostages. They must survive for the mission to be a success. Good luck. Welcome to Siberia, 47. One of the harshest climates on the planet. Your destination is the privately owned Perm 14 prison facility, located near the freezing Siberian tundra. Here, you're tasked with the elimination of Vitaly Reznikov, warden at the prison, and Roman Kabko, renowned Russian mobster with suspected political ties. Roman Kabko has been a prisoner at Perm 14 for the past decade, but has functioned more as a second-in-command than a prisoner. Now he wants out and has offered Warden Reznikov a bribe to facilitate an early release, scheduled to take place today. Kabko's offer comes at an opportune time for Reznikov, as investigations by the United Nations Human Rights Council are underway. A string of recent news articles has exposed violence and even murder as everyday occurrences in Perm 14. Our client suspects that Kabko's release could cause serious diplomatic issues. Both targets must be eliminated, along with Reznikov's mercenary guards, the Siberian Tigers. Note that the prison's regular guards are not sanctioned targets. Now, a riot is brewing in the prison, which could be used to our advantage. Since our client has asked we eliminate the targets clandestinely, you will need to find a way to set the riot off and use it as a cover for the eliminations. I will leave you to prepare. Good evening, 47. Your target is Dmitry Fedorov, currently a patient at the prestigious Gamma facility in Hokkaido. Fedorov owns a series of infamously unsafe fireworks factories in Russia. In a stroke of poetic justice, 4 weeks ago, Fedorov was severely injured in an accident at one of his own factories. He was initially in critical condition, but has since made a miraculous recovery thanks to advanced Kronstadt surgical technology used at the facility. 26 of his employees were not that lucky. Fedorov now plans to retire in the Bahamas on the insurance collected from the accident. But a group of surviving factory workers have decided to ensure Fedorov doesn't leave Hokkaido alive. Let's make this one count, 47. Welcome to Sapienza, 47. We have 2 targets for you. Congressman Anthony L. Trout, a veteran of the invasion of Grenada, and Richard J. McGee. Though at first glance these 2 might not seem connected, they have a long-standing collaboration manipulating Trout's political opposition. Trout sends McGee after his weak but potentially dangerous adversaries and lets McGee manipulate and ultimately break them. Trout and McGee are in Sapienza on an arcane meet and greet with European moneymen and power brokers ahead of a possible presidential bid in 2024. We know that Trout is staying at the Via Caruso in the town square, but McGee's business is much more clandestine, and we don't have a location for where he will be. All we know is that he is to meet a Keith Keeble, a rich young man and possibly their next victim. Time to show them the consequences of political manipulation. Good luck, 47. Good morning, 47. Your target is Mark Faber, also known as the Undying. A disgraced former MI5 operative currently working as a freelance assassin, Faber has been confirmed killed by ICA agents more than a dozen times. On every occasion, he has managed to come back from the dead. We have confirmation that Faber has a meeting in the Miami Bayside Center to review details on a new target. An informant at the site has provided us with reliable intel on Faber's expected movement around the center. This information has revealed several viable approaches. As you know, our inside man is meeting with the target. Acquire the right disguise, and he'll get you inside the heart of the building. Up close and personal is risky, but favors the clean kill. Alternatively, smuggle in a sniper rifle via briefcase. The race tower is a perfect vantage point, but access is restricted. Race security is high. Get through the locked door and time your shot perfectly. Or infiltrate through the staff entrance at the back of the building. Access the second floor using the elevator shaft. Move unseen inside the weapons demo room and infiltrate as you see fit. Act once an opportunity presents itself, or rig the room to your advantage and leave unseen. Be mindful, however. The repercussions of being exposed here would be severe. I'm confident even more opportunities will reveal themselves once you arrive on site. 47. To be entirely honest, this one's a bit of an embarrassment. Please make sure he doesn't come back again. Good luck. Good evening, 47. Your target is Dame Barbara Elizabeth Keating, a New Zealand tycoon and the former Minister of Trade and Foreign Affairs. She was forced to resign from her position when a charity she represented was accused of funneling donations towards the Dame's own offshore portfolio. Dame Barbara drew on contacts in the tabloids to shift the blame onto the charity's director, Jacqueline Vicker, destroying her reputation and ensuring that Vicker's death shortly thereafter was perceived as a suicide. Dame Barbara is now embarking on a PR tour to restore her standing, and we believe she's working with a body double in order to protect herself at public events. Needless to say, the contract only applies to the real Dame Barbara. Good luck, 47. Good evening, 47. Your target is Miranda Jameson, famous art appraiser and director of the Gawker Institute in Barcelona. Mrs. Jameson is one of the key drivers of the extensive price fixing that takes place in the art world. Her callous approach to the fine arts business has destroyed countless galleries and resulted in the suicides of several artists ruined by her actions. 2 weeks ago, Jameson hired a gang of thieves to steal a valuable painting from a former client. Jameson aims to impress adventurer Blake Nathaniel with the stolen artwork. But the owner has discovered her involvement and hired the ICA to retire her and retrieve her personal notebook. The client wants Jameson eliminated before the artwork is revealed, so time is of the essence. Good luck, 47. Good morning, 47. Your target is Vincente Murillo, a fascist militia leader thought to have disappeared. A prominent figure in the 1980s war against communism, we have intel that he has returned to continue his old mission of creating a new world order in South America, starting in Colombia. Intel provided by our client tells us that he is a narcissist, a pathological liar, and very paranoid, with a drinking habit. If he is to fulfill his dream of starting a fascist uprising, he could let the world know that our client has supported him back in the 80s. Our client needs their past mistakes resolved. Times have changed. So good luck, 47. Good morning, 47. Your target is the infamous serial killer known as the Censor. With a flair for the theatrical, the Censor acts as an examiner who grades his victims based on how much they struggle for their lives. The true identity of the Censor is unfortunately unknown, but the discovery of 2 recent victims indicates he's now exploring Whittleton Creek, Vermont, in search of prey. We only have a limited window of opportunity here, 47. Find the Censor and make sure he never grades anyone again. Best of luck.
Agent 47 and Diana Burnwood are the world's top assassins working for the ICA. Unknowingly, they have been hired by a shadow client to target a number of operatives of Providence, a secret organization working in the highest echelons of power. Providence's controller, the Constant, approaches Diana and makes her a deal. Eliminate the shadow client and learn about 47's past. But when 47 discovers that the shadow client is Lucas Gray, his lost childhood friend, he and Diana switch sides to fulfill an old pact: destroy Providence. Together, they manage to capture the Constant, forcing him to reveal the identities of the 3 Providence partners. Eliminate them, and the war would be over. However, the Constant has an ace up his sleeve. Look closer. In the shadows. Behind the everyday world. Beyond the headlines and the seats of power. A hidden hand. A kind of company known as Providence. To it, we were just assets. To use and throw away. To do the unthinkable. The unforgivable. And it never gave us a second thought. Until now. After decades in the shadows, we are fighting back. Me and 47. Much has been lost, but we are closer than ever. We trapped the Constant, Providence's chief controller, and finally learnt the names of its 3 partners. In their downfall, we lay the past to rest. And, just maybe, look towards the future. 47. It's time.
Partners are down there. You know, I never planned this far ahead. You never do. I see someone got his memory back. Wait, is that a beacon? What the hell? Base. Alexa Carlisle's helicopter just took off. Confirm target locations, over.
Diana, what's the status?
Right. We have a situation. Carlisle has left the building. And I think I know why. The Constant has escaped. He persuaded one of the sailors into setting him free, and since then he's been seizing control of Providence assets and resources. I can only assume Carlyle is rushing to contain the damage.
If she slips away again...
We'll keep track of her. Make sure she doesn't. Meanwhile, the plan stays the same. Your destination is the Scepter, the world's tallest building where the partners are laying low, courtesy of their host, Sheikh Omar Al-Ghazali. Marcus Stuyvesant is fifth-generation old money. His family made its fortune in real estate and banking, and were at one point the chief landowners in New York. Carl Ingram is a powerful Washington kingmaker whose family grew rich selling gunpowder during the American Civil War, and later established a globe-spanning empire in oil, coal, and steel. Both families long since retreated from public view, but their quiet dominance endures to this day. Now, the partners likely suspect that we're coming, so Mr. Gray will infiltrate building controls and disable all electronic doors and elevators. Stuyvesant and Ingram are about to find they have nowhere left to run.
Right. This is our moment, 47. Providence ruined our lives with the flick of a pen. Today, we return the favor. Happy hunting.
Welcome to Dubai, 47. Today is the inauguration of the Scepter, and the ceremony is well underway. You will find Marcus Stuyvesant near the building's signature art installation, while a paranoid Carl Ingram has ensconced himself in his penthouse suite, security on highest alert. Mr. Gray is already in position and ready to assist. Good luck, 47.
If that's your winning face, I'd hate to see you lose.
We underestimated the Constant.
Yeah, he's a glorified desk clerk.
He's not just after the money. He wants it all.
We caught him once, we can do it again. And, well, we're not the ones who let him escape.
You still don't trust her.
I don't like executive decision makers. Look, you don't have to follow her, you know? Soon, this will be over. Maybe it's time to think about the future. You have to face the possibility that there's no going back. If the ICA knows what you did...
She'll make it right. She always does.
We have a fix on Carlyle. Come on. We've got a plane to catch. I hope you like the rain, 47.
Miss Burnwood.
How did you...
I have everyone's number. You really ought to know by now.
You planned this? All of it?
Don't be silly. I just played the hand I was dealt.
We'll find you.
You had me. Where'd that get you?
We handed you an empire.
It's for the best. The partners were complacent, set in their ways. But power is more than just security. Providence can be an agent of change. Surely you understand. Or you will. Soon enough.
She came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Don't respond, just listen. Diana can't help you now. You need to find Olivia. She will know what to do. I wish there had been more time.
And then there were none. Thank you, Miss Burnwood. Now, it's my turn.
Stay down. Boss wants you alive.
Yeah?
How about now? Over here! Cover me! Walk away! Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Don't.
Tell the Constant to start running!
You think you've won? 47 is out there. And 47 never misses his mark.
Neither do you, Miss Burnwood. That's what makes you valuable.
You're delusional. You think I would betray 47?
Trust me, you owe him nothing.
What is this?
I told you we could help each other, and I meant it. I look forward to your call.
Gray is gone. Go to Berlin and stay out of sight. We're all that's left now.
We've been compromised. Abort and walk away now.
Who?
ICA. They tracked me. Don't know how.
It's what they do. How many?
One prime asset and a whole pack of up-and-comers. They've infiltrated the club searching for us. Christ, I think I killed one of them. Get out now before they spot you.
No. They found us once. They'll find us again. Keep your head down. I'll take care of this. You're hurt.
You should see the other guy. Never killed nobody before. What you did back there. You really are all Gray said you'd be. 47. He didn't suffer, did he?
He made it count.
Bruised but not broken. I'm glad. It's time we start afresh, you and me.
Get to the point.
You and your friends pulled off the impossible. You stormed the heavens, took down the untouchables, and yet, here we are. Status quo. It just goes to show, you can't fight power, Miss Burnwood. Power never dies, it only changes hands. The best you can do is claim it.
I never cared about power.
Power is a tool, Miss Burnwood. It's the thing that gets you to the thing. As the next constant, you can be the agent of change.
Transform the system from the inside, or be transformed by it.
No risk, no reward.
I'll need to think about it.
No, you won't. The real question is, what will you bring to the table?
We're clear.
You killed all of them?
They got my message. Where are you?
Diner. Up the main road.
On my way. Look closer.
I'm telling you, the file is trash. The Constant doesn't so much burn his bridges as blow them up. Arthur Edwards, whoever he was, don't exist anymore. His personal data somehow deletes itself from any system that records him. Way beyond advanced. The partners spared no expense to make sure their controller would be untraceable.
How untraceable?
Look, I did what you asked, but Gray's gone and I'm no Diana. I'm not who you need right now. You gotta be kidding me.
ICA?
I used every encryption known to man. Who are these guys?
The best. It's only a matter of time before they get lucky. We need to take them down.
You and which army?
I know where the agency stores its files, mission reports, client data. If we leak it to the public...
You want to whistleblow the ICA?
It's the path of least resistance. Turns out, you are who I need right now, Olivia.
I do this, and I'm out. So, what are we breaking into?
Data facility in Chongqing, China. Run by a man called Hush.
Of course. The ICA site in Chongqing houses the agency's data storage and analyst division. Needless to say, security is daunting. The state-of-the-art server vault is biometrically wired to the facility's two overseers. Imogen Royce, behavioral analysis pioneer, and Hush, a data security guru with a taste for fringe transhuman experimentation.
Tell me about Hush.
A former cyber terrorist for the Ministry of State Security in Kadanyang, who fled his country after one of the Po regime's periodic purges. He made a career doing cybersecurity for dark web deplorables, human traffickers, organ harvesters, scum like him, with no code or conscience. ICA sure can pick 'em. No offense.
Can you disable security?
A dual authentication protocol ensures that any handling of data must be directly authorized by Hush and Royce. The proverbial human factor device to make the system impenetrable. Luckily, I found a loophole. If both overseers should unexpectedly die within a short space of time, the system reverts to a temporary fail-safe protocol, which I can bypass. Take them off the board, and you'll have free access to the data core. And I'll handle the rest.
And you're sure it'll work?
Look, I know Hush. If I'm wrong, we won't live long enough to regret it.
All right. I will leave you to prepare.
Chongqing, China. This city is Big Brother's wet dream with more than 2.5 million cameras covering 15 million people. Privacy is a four-letter word in this place. It's pretty ironic that a cloak and dagger organization like the ICA keeps its most valuable secrets here. You'll find Hush conducting his fringe experiments in an abandoned apartment building, while Imogen Royce, the archivist, runs the day-to-day business of the ICA data facility. I just hope you know what you're doing, 47. It's all here. Clients, operatives, every hit the ICA ever sanctioned. Enough to shut them down for good. But first you need to locate all files referencing Diana and yourself.
Tell me, what did it feel like? Taking lives?
Random. Disorder.
Well, we are here. Basic training starts at 0600 hours. I should leave you to prepare. Perhaps I see possibility where others see limitation. I choose him.
The two of you go way back. I didn't realize that you... I don't know. I get why you want to protect her. So, wipe all the data referring to the two of you from their system before we publish the rest. Okay, good. I've set up a link to an information non-profit site. When you press that button, it's up there and the whole world will know. There's no undo 47. This will shut the ICA down for good. You really okay with this? It's who you've been for so long.
Maybe it's time for a change.
I'll just return things to normal. No need to alert them we were here prematurely.
Safety intrusion detected. Lockdown commencing.
Shit! I missed that. We're blown, 47. I can hold the doors for a little while. Use the vents to get out. Go, now!
We turn now to the data leak bombshell causing shockwaves across the world. The so-called ICA files. The disclosure of...
You win. So?
What happens now?
The ball's in your court, Miss Burnwood. I do have other candidates, you know. Most of whom have never tied me to a chair.
You've seen the news. That was 47 acting on his own. He is untethered, he is unstoppable, and he cannot be bargained with. He will find you, Mr. Edwards, and I'm the only chance you've got.
I'm listening.
47 has one weakness. Me.
I found something. Buenos Aires International Airport this morning. Now watch this.
Heralds.
Trail ends at the airport, but turns out that a top Providence operative owns a vineyard in the area. Don Yates, of infamous New York law firm Morgan, Yates & Cohn. And get this, he's hosting his retirement party today.
She's infiltrated them. She's sending a message. She needs my help.
Could have fooled me.
You don't know her.
Anyway, if you're going after her, you'll need to deal with the Herald. Her name's Tamara Vidal, former CIA asset and political firebrand. She's a master of surveillance and the Constant's most trusted aide. She'll have eyes everywhere. You won't get far as long as she's in the game.
Why are you telling me this? I thought you were out.
Yeah. Old habits, I guess. Anyway, I need to go. See you around, 47.
No, you won't.
You got my message.
You'd never get caught on camera. Not unless you wanted to be seen. So what's the play?
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next Constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field.
It won't work. If Edward suspects...
I will convince him you acted alone. Retaliation for Grey. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
The Herald, Tamara Vidal. She has eyes everywhere, and they're all fixed on you. The plan won't work unless we take her out.
She never leaves my side for long. Whatever your plan is, I'll help you if I can.
You're sure about this?
As sure as I'll ever be. Here, I got... Come find me when it's done. Good luck, 47. How did you know?
Your deal. That kind of power always comes with a price. What's yours?
I think you know. I am sorry. This is a necessary evil.
What have you done?
Ether brand neurotoxin. Transfers by touch. See, Edwards learns by his mistakes, 47. And as you've clearly demonstrated, brute force is futile. It had to be me. It was the only way.
To get this close.
My family. I know what you did. After all these years, I finally know.
I am sorry.
You didn't have a choice. I did. Providence used you, but I'm no better. All I saw was a blank slate, a weapon to wield. I told myself it was what you needed, but people aren't meant to be controlled. This is a kindness. Goodbye, Agent. Are you still here? Still clinging on to your self-image? Agent 47, the apex predator.
That's him. Burnwood never ceases to surprise me. You really are a most singular individual. And to think, she wanted me to put you down. Lucky for you, I never throw away anything useful. Prepare the serum. Forgetting's not so bad. You've done it before.
What's he doing? Is he still looking at us?
I'm afraid so. Poor Sap just won't accept his days are done.
Perhaps I should take him out to the woods and set him free.
Oh, it's a classic.
He was a loyal tool. But everything goes the way of the horse and cart eventually.
I couldn't agree more.
Are you done? The toxins are playing into your fears. Don't let them. Come on. Gotta get your head straight.
I don't suppose there's any point calling for help.
No.
Seems I brought this on myself. Well played, Miss Burnwood. Do you really think she'll be able to resist all that power? This is not how people work.
She rejects the power, not the responsibility.
A noble idea. But please join me in the real world. I trust you already know what this is. Why not simply take it? Embrace who you were always meant to be.
No, never again.
Well, I had to try. Go on then. Do your thing. At least I die knowing who I am. What are you doing? No! No!
This is what it means to lose everything.
You're making a mistake.
It's mine to make.
Oh. Forgive me. I seem to have, what were we talking about?
Don't worry. We were done.
The string of resignations at the top level of international finance continues as Milton Fitzpatrick CEO Alexander Fannin joins the president of Hamson Oil, Quantum Leap founder Tim Quinn, and plenty of others step down.
It's been a long time, Agent 47.
That's not who I am anymore. The pact is done. The past, dead.
And yet, here you are.
I choose this path because I can. There will always be people like them. So there will always be people like us.
No one is untouchable.
It's good to be back.
Good morning, 47. Your target is Cody Haynes, obsessive art collector currently in the process of procuring the complete oeuvre of Cecil Bardou. Haynes went underground 6 years ago to escape his wife's family, after embezzling their fast food empire to pay for his art habit. Freed from all social ties, his collecting took a turn to a dark extreme. Intel shows that he not only needs to possess the artworks, but that he cannot accept any previous owners being left alive. Our client, the gallerist who originally sold the artworks of Cecil Bardou, is worried the killings will taint his business. Furthermore, he owns one of the paintings in his private collection, putting his name on Haynes' kill list. Your target's insatiable need to possess is leaving a bloody trail, and he must be stopped. Good luck, 47. Good morning, 47. Your target is Joanne Bayswater, a rogue assassin banished by... how shall I put it? One of our competing agencies. For many years, she was one of their top operatives. However, her self-confidence led to arrogance, putting civilians' lives at risk. Her handler, believing she was becoming a hazard, brought it up with the board. Miss Bayswater did not take well to this betrayal, and went out of her way to seek revenge on the one she felt had stabbed her in the back. Now she has broken free and set up her own business as a final insult to our client, destroying the natural order. They have made multiple attempts to get rid of her, but she is always one step ahead, and this is why they have turned to us. They might be too proud to admit it, but they need the best. One does not defy the gods without consequences. Good luck, 47. Good evening, 47. Your target is Terence Chesterfield, a building inspector in title only. He is the sole connection between a series of preventable collapses, fires, and explosions that resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives. Outside of these catastrophes, Chesterfield's lax inspection practices have saved property owners a fortune in renovations. When it seemed like he was about to face consequences for his negligence, the local Landlords Association was happy to cover the cost of his high-powered legal team. Refusing to so much as change careers, Chesterfield has relocated to Berlin in an attempt to keep a low profile. The clients, members of a private fund established to help Chesterfield's victims, believe it's only a matter of time before his negligence leads to another disaster. Good luck, 47. Good evening, 47. Your target is Philo Newcomb, a wedding planner whose CV reads like a Shakespearean tragedy. While his job is to make dream weddings a reality, he is not in the business of fairy tale endings. When one half of a couple catches his eye, Newcomb will ingratiate himself with them. Then during the course of his work, he will covertly murder their partner to clear the way for his romantic overtures. Our client was once the subject of Newcomb's infatuation and lost the love of her life as a result. Having some suspicions, she's followed Newcomb's career closely ever since and noticed a pattern of ill-fated lovers emerging in his wake. When she heard he'd been hired by a couple planning a destination wedding in Argentina, she contacted us about putting an end to Newcomb's sanguine love stories. Good luck, 47. Good morning, 47. Your targets are Jack Rowe, aka Jakob Rowe, the charismatic celebrity chef specializing in new Nordic cuisine, and his partner in crime, Robert Burke, a well-established embalmer. The unlikely duo have been secretly working together in a diabolical scheme that could only come from a Gothic novel. They have set up a rather bizarre business where, let's just say, nothing is off the menu. However, our client, a celebrity who wants to remain anonymous, has somehow come across the shocking truth of Mr. Rowe's secret ingredient and managed to connect the two together. Embarrassed and disgusted, they have not been able to go to the authorities, as this would most likely lead to further scandal. So, they have turned to us. It's time to put an end to this ghoulish madness. Good luck, 47.